Will the new X-Men 97 Magneto fit in your comic book-based action figure collection? How close does it look like to the Trial of Magneto costume in the comic books? Can you use the new head sculpt on other Marvel Legends Magneto action figures? Will the old Magneto head sculpt work in the new body mode? Are you looking for a review focusing on the figure and zooming in for a close look? How does it scale with other figures? Don't want to waste your time with a long opening monologue, so let's start with a review. This is Magneto in his Trial of Magneto costume, which appears in the brand new X-Men 97 animated series in Disney+. He has a long white huge hair, very long, and his lips are painted. He doesn't look like the one in the comic books. You can try using Quicksilver from the Family Matters 3-pack if you want a Magneto with a shorter hair, but Quicksilver looks younger than his father. His costume in X-Men 97 has cell shading, but this figure does not have. But that's a good advantage for people who wants to use this figure in their comic book shelf. In terms of the arm, it is a brand new sculpt for this particular figure. Similar to MCU figures, we get like brand new details. The rest of his body though is the Vulcan body mold. So from the torso to the legs, that's all Vulcan body mold. The sculpted muscles are exactly the same as Vulcan, and you can see the knees, they're of a different color, which is similar to what Vulcan has. It's not the same purple as the rest of the body. Same is true for the elbows. It is somewhat a different purple compared to the rest of the body. On the back, there is a peg hole wherein you can peg in the cape. You can try removing the cape, but the hair would stand in the way. Best way is to remove the head, then remove the cape, but you can do the same as what I did. The cape is well done. It's a different cape from the usual Magneto capes that we have. It's more cleaner in terms of the folds. From the back, you can see he has a peg hole, unlike the Vulcan, which does not. This head sculpt, I'm not really much of a fan of this head sculpt. I like this angrier head sculpt better, wherein you can pose Magneto exerting his power. He has blue eyes and his eyebrows are a bit thick. He has a sharp nose in both head sculpts. Here you can see his white teeth. The hair can easily get dirty, so be careful with it. He comes with a pair of closed fist hands which can hinge forward and back. Nothing special in the design of the hands, it's just all plain purple plastic. The other pair of hands he comes with is a more expressive open palm hands. So this is what you use to exert his magnetic powers. He does not come with any power effects. One option if you want somewhat a cartoon or a comic book like effect is using the Slideffects. Slideffects did a great job modeling this after actual comic book art. It would look great if you're trying to do a comic book shelf or a comic book based type of photography.
I'm Tuggernaut!
You can use your other existing Marvel Legends Magneto magnetic effects as well. Here we have the one from the Apocalypse Wave Magneto. This translucent purple effect has been reused by Hasbro several times, usually as a thunder strike for Thor. Comparing the skin tone of the two head sculpt, you can see that the old one is more tan compared to the brand new one. In terms of the eyes, nose, and lips, you can see how Hasbro has improved through the years, especially with this brand new head sculpt wherein they use photoreal tech. Using this brand new head sculpt on the black costume Magneto, it does not match how he looks like in the comic books because he had short hair back then. This is a costume that he wore when he led the X-Men group, which includes Sabretooth, Psylocke, Archangel, and Monet. For the first episode of X-Men 97, it may have came in as a shock that Magneto is leading the X-Men, but in the comic books, even from the 1980s, after his trial, he has taken the mantle of leading this mutant group. Here, using the angrier head sculpt, it looks better, but one thing I noticed is the head rather does look large. Using the effect pieces from the Age of Apocalypse Magneto, this is the swirly translucent purple one. Hasbro has reused this effect several times as a flame effect or magnetic effect. Side by side with the Age of Apocalypse, you can see that the skin tone does not match again, which Hasbro has been doing a great job of. As long as the Magneto body doesn't show any skin tone, you can kitbash the brand new head with the other older Magneto action figures. In X-Men 97, fans were surprised with the romantic relationship between Rogue and Magneto. However, in the comic books, there has been alternate realities wherein they are married and they had a baby. It is in the Age of Apocalypse. Here we have the head sculpt on the Age of Apocalypse body mold. In my opinion, the angry head sculpt is the better one. Using this for this body, I imagine this facial expression when he splits Apocalypse body into two. Using this head sculpt on the House of X Magneto, which is in his all-white costume, his hair there was a bit short as well. In terms of the effect pieces, one thing I noticed is if he used the blue Slideffects, it matches his eyes. And for this white costume, it really works well together. Comparing this new figure with a MAFEX Magneto, MAFEX is 1/12 scale, so you can see the head of MAFEX is really small because it's 1/12 scale. Unlike Hasbro, which is 6-inch scale, which is a bigger scale than 1/12, but still the head is rather large. I still like the comic book like head sculpt of the MAFEX compared to this one. You can use this head sculpt with the help of blue tack to attach it to the MAFEX body. Of course, with MAFEX being 1/12 scale, this head is now really looking large. For this body, it's like a Funko Pop of a Marvel Legends or a MAFEX action figure. The Angry Ed sculpt does look great as well when he exerts this star-like magnetic powers or diamond-like magnetic powers. I really like this Angry Head sculpt, but it is really large. Comparing the magnetic effect of MAFEX, you can see this one is somewhat similar to the Slideffects, which is in blue. Let me know in the comments below, do you think this brand new X-Men 97 Magneto is the more superior figure than the rest, including MAFEX? Is the X-Men 97 Magneto head large for the Vulcan body mold? Probably they should have used a larger body mold with a bigger upper torso like the animated series. The X-Men 97 Magneto stands 16 centimeters or 6.3 inches tall. According to this Impulse trading card, Magneto is 6 feet 2 inches tall. Doing a 1/12 scale conversion of the figure's height, it is close to the 6 feet 2 inch height of Magneto. For some size comparisons, beginning with the X-Men 97 Wolverine and the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man. For some X-Men 97 action figures which I reviewed already, here we have Jean Grey and the Goblin Queen. Here we have Elektra from the SPDR Wave and the Retro Rogue. Some X-Men 97 Episode 3 Easter eggs. Here we have Magic and the Life and Death Storm. Next we have the Unity Squad Rogue and the J. Scott Campbell Rogue. Next we have the Age of Apocalypse Rogue and Magneto. Here are the other Magnetos which I compared a while ago. Here we have recently reviewed Logan versus Sabretooth Marvel Legends. Larger Marvel Legends, here we have the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure and we have the 80 Years of Marvel Hulk. 7-inch scale figures, here we have Magneto and Apocalypse. For 1/12 scale size comparisons, here we have Cyclops and Jean Grey. Next we have Gambit and Storm. Next, we have Brown Costume Wolverine and Psylocke. Loose collector action figures, we have Darna, a Filipino superhero, and we have She. The recommended retail price for the X-Men 97 Magneto is 24.99 USD. For Australia, the RRP is 45 AUD. Magneto comes in the X-Men 97 retro card back packaging with the characters from Wave 1, art by Amelia Vidal, same pose as the Wave 1 Magneto, name of the figure on the bottom. On the back, we have the figures of Wave 2, which includes Magneto, and a digital render of the figure. There is no write-up, so you have to check out Hasbro Vaults for that. In terms of articulation, his head can move from side to side with some hindrance by the thing on his neck. He cannot look up that much because of the hair. He can look down. His arms can stretch that far. He can do a full 360 with some hindrance from the cape. Bicep swivel right there. Double jointed pinless elbows right here. His wrist can swivel, hinge forward and backwards. He has an ab crunch right here. Since this is the Vulcan body, it's a good range. He cannot crunch back that much. He has a waist swivel right here. He can do a split, upper thigh swivel right here, double jointed pinless knees. He has a lower cap swivel. His feet can hinge up and down, and he has an ankle rocker. I reviewed Goblin Queen a week before the release of episode number 3. Hope you check out that review. In that review, I mentioned that there is a part of her thigh wherein there is a matte black finish. After watching episode 3, this figure is not accurate to how she looks because of the skin tone that is supposed to be in that thigh. My final thoughts. The figure comes with sufficient amount of accessories, no power effect, but he comes with alternate pairs of hand and an alternate head. The alternate head is a good head sculpt, which is his angry look. The problem that I have with this figure is this head seems to be a little bit large for the Vulcan body. Looking at this, you can see how a little bit smaller the Vulcan head is. I understand this is the best body mold right now for male figures, but I'm just not sure if the size of his head was done right. The thing on his shoulder and neck does a good job of hiding that fact. As long as Magneto wears his cape, then there is no issue with the size of his head. Overall, this figure is a good addition to your comic book based collection and your X-Men 97 animated series collection. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing, ringing the notification bell, and checking out other reviews I have on the channel. Please help my reviews get recommended by the YouTube algorithm through your like, subscription, and comments. If the YouTube algorithm recommends my reviews, it helps us grow the channel and the community. Thank you for participating in the polls and giving my reviews a like and a comment. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and find it useful. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell.